As a seasoned nonprofit CFO, I fully understand how stressful it can be at the end of the year. And so, aside from reviewing your financials and preparing for the financials for the next year, there's also some really important regulatory requirements that I want to encourage you to make sure you're taking time out for this year. Hi, I'm Teresa Clark, and I'm a CPA with over 25 years worth of experience serving 501(c)(3) nonprofits. I've worked inside the organization as the CFO, and I've also worked external to the organization as a nonprofit auditor. So, my mission is to help nonprofits answer money questions so that they can achieve strength, financial strength, and accomplish their mission. So, you can think of me as like a strategic partner to help you master the money. If you'd like to have more resources, you can visit my website, teresaclark.com. All right, so as you start to think about wrapping up the year and moving into the new, this is an incredibly good opportunity to prepare for and navigate your nonprofit success by making sure you're looking at governance and compliance matters. So the first thing I want to invite you to look at is your governing documents. Now, what this includes is your bylaws, your articles of incorporation, or in the state of Texas, we call them certificate of formation. Maybe your board has some policies, any other thing that exists that is really about how the organization is governed. Here are some things you might look for. Term limits. Do we need to make sure that there's a rotation of board members based on term limits? Are there some annual duties outlined that the board should be covering? What is the process for electing officers? And are there any stipulations regarding the attendance of board members? Does a board member that's not able to attend need to be encouraged to transition off and be replaced? Also, committee functions. Does your board have committees that are defined? And what are the functions of those committees? Are there reporting requirements that need to happen to the full board? Have those been fulfilled? So there you go. First step, reviewing your governing documents. The next step is reviewing your organization's policies and procedures. See, every organization should have those things that they are doing that safeguard the assets and the resources of the nonprofit, and that also ensure that there's just good checks and balances throughout the organization. There may also be some things that are required by your state related to your nonprofit's operations. And of course, there are federal guidelines regarding nonprofit matters such as conflict of interest and private inurement rules. And then also, we're going to cover here in a minute, but filing requirements. So you want to make sure that you know what those are. I really recommend developing a checklist so that you don't miss any of these things, and then reviewing those policies and procedures that have been done in writing every year. Next is you want to review your tax filings and make sure that they're also on schedule. So nonprofits are required to do some tax filings. Depending on the status of your nonprofit, that would include a 990. And then there's also many states in the United States that will require state returns. So know your requirements for that. And then as we get near the end of the calendar year, there are many payroll related filings. So you could have a 940, 941s, W-2s, 1099s. That's just to name a few. There are many more potentially for you. So although year-end can be a very stressful time, it really is an ideal time to start thinking about and reviewing these things, your organization's policies, procedures, and governing documents. All right, well, I wish you a happy and successful year end. And if you found this tip helpful, you can subscribe where you're watching this video, and you can continue to get more weekly tips just like this.